Here we go. We are just now gotten on the trailhead at Dragon's Tooth, the trail that goes to Dragon's Tooth for the Virginia Triple Crown. And 2 nights and 3 days. I guess that's what we're planning on today. So yeah, we just got started, and as soon as we see something interesting, we'll get back to you. So we bypassed Dragon's Tooth. We're going to hit it on our way back. We're going to stop at a car, drop our packs into Dragon's Tooth so we can lightly pack that one out. But I just want you to look at these views. Gorgeous. You can't beat the mountains. Can't beat the mountains, right?
Can't beat the mountains.
So I wanted to share this view down here. I don't know what part of the trail we're on. I had to look at my map, but I want you to see this farm that's way off in the distance. Look at that view. Imagine having that homestead. Beautiful. Again, the things you see on the trail. We came across this tortoise eating a mushroom. Let me get some footage of it. Here right on the side of us, well, a rock face anyway, all the way down the trail here. Pretty cool.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
So welcome to Westmoreland State Park. What? That's right, I'm not on the Triple Crown anymore. So what happened was, actually we had to tap out the first day actually. And here's my laundry list of excuses on why that happened. So we kind of got I guess not a late start. So I wanted to get to the trailhead early. So we left my house in Bowling Green about 4 o'clock, I guess it was. We had got up at 3, so we were on about 3 or 4 hours of sleep already. And one fiasco after another. I left our bag of Smart Water on the counter in the kitchen that I was going to take it, just put it in the car and load it into the backpacks once we got to the trailhead. So we had to find a Walmart. I bullshit you not. I stopped in Charlottesville, Virginia at one Walmart, and it opened at 6 and it was 5:20. So I didn't feel like waiting 20 minutes. So we just got back on the road again and stopped at a Love's Travel Stop, I think, on I-81. I can't remember exactly where we were, and we picked up the Smart Water bottle. So I had to buy 4 of the tall ones and then 4 of the small ones to get the sport cap. So we finally got to the trailhead at Dragon's Tooth. And the only reason I went to Dragon's Tooth first is because that's where all trails, the app I use for a lot of this, shows you starting and stopping. So the goal was to start originally, but when we got to the thing, so we started the Dragon's Tooth parking lot. We started hiking, and then you get to where that trailhead meets the Appalachian Trail, and you can go right, which is about 0.7 miles to Dragon's Tooth, or stay left on the Appalachian Trail. And there's a big clearing there where people have camped and whatnot, where you drop your pack and you go up to Dragon's Tooth because there's some rock climbing and things like that. But we we changed into shorts. Well, we had shorts under our pants. We dropped our pants and we go wearing shorts because it's warming up. And we decided that we would hike the Triple Crown, and on the way back from North Mountain, we would go by the parking lot, drop our packs off, and just leisurely walk to Dragon's Tooth, which is probably about 2 miles, maybe, I think. So it'd be about maybe 3 or 4 miles there and back. Without a pack, that would have been nothing. So we changed into our shorts right there at the split to go to Dragon's Tooth at Appalachian Trail, and went on our merry way, and we were doing fine. It was a long time, and we finally made it to the parking lot of McAfee Knob, and there was a sign there that said Dragon Tooth 8.2 miles. I'm pretty confident that it was 8.2 miles that we had put in already. So we trudged across the street and we made our way to towards McAfee Knob, and there's the first shelter is John Springer or something, shelter. And we planned to get water there, at least, maybe camp, probably camp there. That was the plan, to camp at that first shelter and get up early the next morning, go to McAfee Knob, and then to Tinker Cliffs, and then to work our way back around. And probably camp on North Mountain, and then work our way all the way back down to Dragon's Tooth. So that first shelter there was no water. The water source was completely dry. Now, granted, we've already put in now 10, 12 miles, about 10 or 12 miles already. And I had about a half a bottle. I had half one of these left of water. So there was a guy there from the Roanoke Valley Appalachian Trail Club. I probably got the name wrong. I'll put a link to their website in the description. So he said that shelter was 0.7 miles away from where we were. And then another mile beyond that was another shelter. So we said, okay, well, we'll trudge that one. That was the Catawba shelter. And we got there, and there were some people there that they said there was no water. They were a young, two young guys and a girl. They were all hiking with a dog. And so they had some water left. They were only going to Tinker Cliffs anyway, so they got back on the trail. We were out, I mean, except for that little half a bottle. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Am I going to trudge up another, I think there's the next campsite was beyond McAfee Knob, and there's another 500 foot of elevation gain. And I got, when you have a half a bottle of water like this, that's a big gamble. And, my knee was hurting and her knee was hurting. So we decided it was a tough decision. But the smart thing to do was to tap out. So we followed the Appalachian Trail towards McAfee Knob where it meets the fire trail. There's a fire road that takes you back down to the parking lot. And you cross that road and continue on to McAfee Knob. So we decided that we were just going to tap out at that point because I didn't want to risk going another 2 or 3 miles and still finding out there's no water. Water is pretty important when you're hiking like that. So we hiked the fire trail back down to the parking lot. And so now I still got to get back over to Dragon's Tooth to get the car. And bullshit you not, Rebecca saw a car pull into the parking lot. It was a taxi. So we unloaded our packs, and I guess the guy driving the taxi, there's some Porta Johns over there. He had to go use the restroom, and when he started to pull out, I walked out and flagged him down, and he gave me a ride up to Dragon's Tooth parking lot. I got in the car, and we drove all the way back to Bowling Green, and we got home about 9:30. But that was a tough one. It was a tough one. I think when we do it again the next time, we're going to do it probably later this month or in October, where there's probably a little bit more rainfall and hopefully the water sources are better. But we plan on stopping at starting and stopping at the McAfee Knob parking lot because there were a couple of water sources coming from Dragon's Tooth. I mean, they were small. The creeks weren't flowing very fast, but we still would have been able to get some water. But I didn't get water because I didn't need it. I wasn't drinking water at that point. So today we decided just to come out to Westmoreland and do a couple of miles around the hiking trails. So did not finish the Virginia Triple Crown, but here's some pictures and a couple of clips of some wildlife. So this video is already 6.5 minutes. I'll probably neck it down a little bit. So anyway, be careful out there, be safe, and know when be smart when it's time to quit. Later.